Broadcasting from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, to around the globe. You're listening to Shark Bite Biz, your exclusive place for business strategy, sales, marketing, and tech in the roaring 20s. And now, here's your host, David Strausser.
It's that time again. Yes, indeed. It's time for Shark Bite Biz. Once again, I'm your faithful host, David Strausser. Please make sure you follow us on Twitter. You can follow me personally at dstrausser83. That's at DSTRAUSSER83. And you can follow this channel at Shark Bite Biz. Both of us, the channel and myself, we have great content on there all the time about being able to grow your business. Today, once again, another good friend of mine's coming on, and we have a special show. Every show with Shark Bite Biz is special. Seriously, it is. Today's different, though, because today's guest is somebody who dreams big. Somebody who believes they are their own champion. And I'll tell you who I got in a minute, but come on, work with me. I gotta build this up a little bit. Being a business owner, it's tough. It's not easy. You have to dream big. You have to reach for the stars. Sometimes, though, you do fall short, and you do have to start all over again. Look at the story. I think it was Milton Hershey. How many times he had to come up with a business until he finally found Hershey chocolates. So it's okay to restart, to reinvent yourself, and put a new brand out there to try again. Dreaming, though, having those dreams is so important, very important. You always have to keep one eye on the present, okay? You need to be grounded. 100%, you have to live in today for today. But that other eye, this is why we have two eyes. The other eye you have to keep in the future. Why? Simple. The choices that you make today will determine if you reach that goal or that dream in the future. It's basically your guiding path. So when you make decisions, you're going down the right road. You're making all of the right terms. So you just cannot simply think about just today. I don't know anybody in business that hasn't failed at least once. Maybe they're a one-time business owner and their business is successful. They've been open for 20 years, but they'll tell you it wasn't easy. They've had many trials, tribulations, many failures with the business. It's part of being in business. Even if you don't own the business, you're just a manager, a director. I'm the general manager of the Northeast for Vision 33. This year is full of a lot of trials and tribulation because of the global pandemic that's going on. Our sales goals are completely off. And it's okay because that's what was given with us and we're dealing with it, but we're still able to sustain some sort of growth. And that's really, really what is important here. It's the determination and perseverance that really sets entrepreneurs apart from the regular folk. Even if you're a director, a manager, a young executive, you just got into the executive field to do business strategy, sales, marketing, things like that. You have to dream big to get down that path. You just can't have tunnel vision right there for today. So in that spirit, I have probably brought on the biggest dreamer I know. And that's saying a lot because many people that know me, they say, hey, David, your head's in the clouds. And they are sometimes, but I'm also very well grounded. And that's why I've been so successful at business. So we're going to bring on from American Idol fame, the one, the only, William Hung. Of course, everybody remembers his infamous audition with American Idol 15 some years ago. But there's so much more to William Hung than that man that sang She Bangs and got torn down by Simon Cowell. After his American Idol audition, William Hung's rendition of She Bangs became famous for all the wrong reasons. Despite a humbling start, William redeemed himself. He has since appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and even performed live with Ricky Martin in Las Vegas doing a duet of She Bangs. William has spent the last 16 years studying the world's top performers and public speakers to uncover their secrets to success. Using what he discovered, he skyrocketed his first studio album, Inspiration, to #1 on the independent Billboard charts. He has also spoken for TEDx twice, Microsoft, Remax, Corvo, and he has done 2 of my executive luncheon events out there in Los Angeles, plus many other speaking engagements that are high profile. He now helps people find their unconventional path to success because he believes everyone has a right to try something new without being judged or ridiculed. He uses his experience from gaming to help his clients with improving their public speaking. So what do you say? Let's bring William on in here.
Business strategy.
Hey, thank you, William, so much for coming on the Shark Bite Biz. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Oh, hey, David. Nice to connect with you again.
Yeah, it's been a while, probably about a year and a half, I think, since our last show.
Yeah.
Those executive luncheons were always fun. So
yes.
I'm sure everybody remembers you from your famous American Idol seed. But do you want to give some background besides just the American Idol? What have you been up to? Tell us about the real William Hung.
Absolutely. So, let me just spend a little bit of time on my background and how I got here today.
Yeah.
So I started singing karaoke with my parents since I was 10 years old in Hong Kong. And then in college, I was struggling with civil engineering, and I just wanted to try something new. So one day, I saw this poster for a school talent show at the Clark Kerr dormitories. I figured, why not? Nothing to lose. So I started watching and studying music videos from Ricky Martin's She Bangs. I didn't expect anything, but somehow I won the talent show. And the grand prize was a DVD player.
Oh, wow. I think you're dating yourself with that prize there.
Yeah, so the audition happened back in 2004. And that's what gave me the confidence to try out for American Idol. And I didn't expect anything from the audition. After Simon says, you can't sing, you can't dance, what do you want me to say? I just thought I'd just go back to being a normal student. Little did I know, 4 months later, after Fox broadcasted my audition, people started asking me for pictures and autographs.
How cool was that? I mean, going from literally nobody to being super famous. I mean, to this day, most people know who William Hung is. How was that transformation for you overnight? Did you handle it well?
It was a very awkward transition. I never thought that would be me. I just thought I could show up being a normal guy, nobody bothers me, and then all of a sudden a lot of people bother me. But it's a good thing, you know?
Yeah, that is a really good thing. And there might be some people out there wondering, hey, David, William Hung, why are you bringing him out to the show? But there's a very specific reason for that, and this is why I feel like I connect to William so much, because you have a story that I think almost every small business owner has. You had dreams, hopes, aspirations, and you actually went out and did it. You executed your dreams.
Yes.
Maybe not as you planned, but you executed it, right?
Yeah, and I think this is a life philosophy that will be very valuable for all your listeners, because sometimes in life we can't always get stuck on the how. We don't know exactly how things are going to work out for you. Everybody's journey is different. My journey, nobody could have predicted it, including myself.
That's so true.
Yeah, but I figure out what can I do to take one step closer.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, and that's like the thing that amazes me because of what happened. And this is pre-internet too. Well, not pre-internet, but I think before the mass use that we have today. You know,
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
before this, we're 2001, was it?
2004.
2004. Okay, close, close. So it was 2004. So we were right in that age. But it's really incredible because if you think of all the alumni that have been there throughout all of American Idol's history, you're probably one of the top most famous people that people still remember.
Yeah, I
You
know.
stood
It's
out.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
that goes to the point where you were saying it's not always the path you take to get there. It's just getting there.
Yes.
It can be a messy, messy road trip. Uh,
Yes.
so, with that, I know you've done a lot of things throughout the past couple years. Obviously, a few She Bangs performances. I remember seeing you with Ricky Martin on stage in Las Vegas, right?
Yes, yes,
Was that
that
a
was
dream come true?
incredible.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely one of my dreams come true. It's something that I always wanted to do since I was young,
Right.
and I finally got a chance to do it together in 2018 in Las Vegas.
So I've got to ask, okay, there's a lot of people out there who are Ricky Martin's fan. This is the first time you two actually ever did this, correct?
Yes.
How do you think the fan reaction was when they realized that like Ricky Martin isn't just singing "She Bangs" himself? He's bringing in William Hug to do this duo with him.
It was so surprising and surreal. People were had I saw their jaws dropped. But that felt so good because me too. I felt it was so surreal. My friend and I was there. We still couldn't believe it.
Were you
Even though it's a
nervous?
couple years now. Yeah, of course, but
Goosebumps?
it's different. Nah, goosebumps, baby. But it's different kind of nervous because like American Idol, I was just like freaking out, right? It's
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why my movements were so jerky. But for Ricky Martin, it's different. It's more just like excitement. Yeah.
And you've made such an impact, I think, with just the American culture, though, too. I mean, this happened, what, like 10, 12, what was
15.
it? 15 years
15.
after American Idol. You're still relevant enough to where you did that with Ricky Martin, and people love it. I saw it all over the news. It was a really cool experience. I'm so happy for you, Ved.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm very grateful that that to this day I can use that story to build my own community and inspire people to chase their dreams.
Right, that's what I was just about to say. This is one of the other big reasons I love you is because you're a dreamer and you chase your dreams. And I think that's an important message for business owners out there to really understand.
Yeah, David, what I learned from this year and maybe even the last couple of months has been very incredible. Because chasing dreams, yes, we all heard that term. We all heard okay. You need to follow your passion. You need to
Yeah.
do all these things.
So cliche.
But so cliche. But there is reality to it because the way I'm approaching it now, I'm more grounded in reality, and this is
Right.
something that can benefit you and your listeners. Like my new dream now is to actually create a gaming platform where people can try something new without the risk of losing what they have.
Yeah, that's awesome. And is that on Twitch that you're streaming?
No, yeah, no. The streaming
Okay.
it's just like the next milestone for
Next
me to
milestone.
get there.
Okay.
Because it's a big project, right?
Right.
I never designed my own game before yet. But
Okay.
that's the vision I have. But in terms of getting myself closer to that vision, I ask myself, what are some next steps I can take to get closer? Building my own gaming community on Twitch and YouTube is one giant step forward.
Right.
Maybe show up at more podcast interviews related to gaming.
Right.
Commit to being an expert in one game.
Yeah.
So yes, so for your dream, think about even if it's not something that's big, it's not a dream, right? It's just
Right.
like that's easy to get there. You can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
You need the dream big, and then
yeah.
just like you're saying, you have to define your goals, your steps. Okay, how do I get there? So I have a philosophy. I want to see if you believe in this. I think you're going to say yes. I tell everybody, my whole life, everybody's telling me, "Hey, kid, get your head out of the clouds. You're a dreamer." And I'm like, "No, I'm not," because I have to have one eye on the future. But I
Yes,
have to have one eye on the present because the
that's
choices
right.
I make today will determine if I get to where I want to be in the future. Do you
I
agree?
agree. I agree. Yeah, even though we don't know how exactly
Exactly.
we're gonna get there, like we have to take some steps forward to get closer. Yeah.
Right. So over the years, I mean, you've had a couple different times that you were out there chasing dreams. You were out there speaking for a little
Yeah.
bit. How
Uh-huh.
did you enjoy the speaking circuit when you were doing speeches? A few of them were for my events out there in LA, as
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah. Yes.
How was that? And how did you develop your speech? Because I think we have a lot of people in our audience. They may be young executives, younger managers, people
Yes.
like that they're like, I need to do this, but how do I start so I can get that exposure? What's your advice with
Okay.
that?
Yeah. So first of all, I still love speaking. Speaking will
Yeah.
always be part of one of my core things that I want to be doing.
Right.
Because speaking is the best way for you to build your own community, to build your
Right.
customer base. Because people, as you know, buy from people who they like and trust,
Right.
And speaking is the best way to build that like and trust.
Right. It is.
Because they get to
It is.
because they need to get to know who you are first as a person. So
Plus, here's
yeah,
another big bonus with that. If you're speaking at an event, the people in attendance actually are like, wait a second. He must be an expert. He's already vetted, because if he wasn't an expert, he wouldn't be here speaking.
yes, right.
And it already gives you that stamp of approval before you even get up there in the stage. And then when you're on the
Yeah.
stage, you just have to win them over.
Yeah. So,
You
so
agree
in
with
terms of,
that? Yeah.
yeah, I agree. And then my general approach to like my speaking, I don't want to get too deep into it,
Oh, yeah.
but I'll give it a general overview.
Yeah, that'd be
Like the way I approach it is I figure out what is my end goal, and then I work
Okay.
backwards. Like, what do I want people to walk away with by the end of my
Right.
speech? It doesn't
Right.
matter if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 hours. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What do I want people to walk away with? And then I can design my speech that way.
That's a great strategy. I've used that. I've gone forward, but I always feel that it's maybe a little bit easier when I do start backwards. And then I'll start, hey, what's the main point I want to get? And then what's the sub points above that? And then everything else just kind of seemed to flow in place for me.
Yes.
With the speaking, the network, stuff like that, I'm looking up here because I actually have Jeffrey Gitomer's book, The Little Red Book of Selling. Have you ever seen that?
I heard of it, but I haven't
Okay.
read it yet.
Well, it's like the 12.5 principles of selling. And in there, it has what's the best way to get business. And
Yeah.
the answer is free speech, which is getting out there and speaking in public.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about chasing the dreams, what you're doing then with this platform. What's it about? How are you going about building this, and what's the ultimate goal? I know it may change, from the mind to actual production.
Oh, yeah.
But can you tell
Yeah.
us some details?
Yeah, my friend and I sat down together and brainstormed a couple of days ago, and then what I found that is that in 3 years' time,
Yeah.
I would like to have a gaming platform that is as big or bigger than Pokemon Go.
Okay.
Because Pokemon Go is one of the biggest platforms.
Oh, yeah.
People were going crazy.
I remember
chasing
when that came out. I actually downloaded and played it for about 15 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, not for me, but it's a cool concept.
Exactly. So I want to develop my own cool concept, but I want it to be very impactful. I'm still figuring out the exact details, but one direction that I'm very interested in is like, how do you study a subject to become an expert?
Right.
And then my approach is going to come from my recent experience from studying to become a successful professional poker player and gamer.
Right.
Because if we, and what I learned from that from those trials
Mm-hmm.
is that there is a like really specific way to go about it. It's
Right.
both the general idea is like it's not about like gluing your head and your body to your chair for the next 8 hours. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It's more like intentional studying 1 to 2 hours at a time, and
Mm-hmm.
then like before you even like sit down, you're already deciding, okay, what do I want to get out of this study session.
Right. That's great. One of the questions I've also wanted to ask you is a lot of people don't think of artists, personas, people as an actual brand, but you are a brand. You are the walking brand of William Hung. How hard
Yeah.
is that to maintain and try to elevate? Have you struggled with that at all?
I would say that I don't think I struggle in terms of my overall brand identity. Yes, I
Hmm.
evolve over time in terms of what I would like to do. But because the world is changing,
Yeah.
right now one of the new trends is that esports is a huge growing industry.
Oh
People
yeah.
love playing video games during the
Yep.
pandemic. So maybe if I could create something that's educational but also entertaining, then
Yeah.
that would be a huge impact for the world.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
that's what I see. But in terms of my spiritual mission, that's how I know. So another advice or tip is like think about what gets you excited to wake up each day. And
Oh
for
yeah.
me, I believe that everyone has a right to try something new without being judged or ridiculed.
Oh, that's yeah, definitely. Because I remember growing up hearing the story. I believe it was Milton Hershey who owns Hershey chocolates.
Yeah.
I believe he did bankruptcy, what, like 30, 31 times, something like that, before he came
Wow.
up with the chocolate recipe. And
Wow.
that's the thing. It's a trial and error process. And just because one idea doesn't work, I mean, I think everybody agrees that there's a certain point that, okay, this isn't going to work. It's not going to be like I thought it was. I need to change
Hmm.
gears.
Yeah.
And you just have to keep motivated and keep the positivity and really trust in yourself that you will find that. You have to be driven.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the one of the best ways to approach this is don't get too like how to say it. Don't get too stuck with how you're gonna get there because a
Right.
lot of times you don't have control over that.
You
Like
can't
let's
predict the road.
No, right, exactly. Like for me, the things I'm doing to create my own ultimate gaming platform,
Hmm.
like yeah, nobody knows if I'm gonna get an audience. Nobody knows I'm gonna be a successful competing in team fight tactics, whatever,
Yeah.
right? But it's more like let's focus on one direction
Yep.
and let's go all in on that, like 3 months at a time. Because that way
Yep.
we don't always like pivot all the time. We don't just do
Hmm.
one thing and the next day we do the next and then we're going nowhere.
Right. How important do you think it is when you're trying to start a new business to go all in? Because there's a lot of people that'll do it wishy washy. They're half in, half out.
Oh, very, very important because I learned that the hard way myself.
Hmm.
But when I was focusing on the speaking business, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
I wasn't fully committed, and then when
Hmm.
I was fully committed, I got much better results.
Oh yeah.
And then now it's not because I don't want to speak. I love speaking. I still speak for a lot of virtual conferences.
Yeah.
I still speak for many podcasts. So it's something to ask yourself. Like if money and resource is not an issue for you, would
Hmm.
you be doing it?
Oh yeah.
Right. That's
Hmm.
that's the place. That's the place I feel it needs to come from.
So that's your
Because
litmus test.
yeah.
That's a good point. I really like that line of thinking. I haven't even really thought of it from that specific angle, and
Yeah.
that's an extremely well point. We've touched on video games a few times now, and I have to admit this to somebody. I've started playing video games again, probably for the first time in like 10 years. But never believe what I'm playing.
What do you
I
play?
am addicted right now to Google Stadia. I
Whoa!
love it. It is so cutting edge. I don't understand why people give it bad press, but it has come so far and it's so easy to use. I really love it, man.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So let's change topics here. If memory serves me correct, you have a book out, correct?
Yes, I published it last October.
Oh,
It's
awesome.
called Champion by Choice.
Champion by choice. That's great. How did
Yes.
you come up with that title?
Um, I was inspired by a conference that I was speaking at in San Antonio, in Texas, like back
Yep.
in 2018. And their theme of their conference was Champion by Choice. And then what thoughts that came to my mind when I saw that was like, wow, I wasn't, a champion myself necessarily. I'm not the best singer. I don't have the best talent.
Well, I don't
But
know. You do have a couple albums out, right?
that's true. But overall, I felt like people chose me to become a champion.
Right.
So my vision for the book is that I want to help more people to choose to become a champion in their lives every day.
Oh no, that's great, and that's a really excellent title because when I hear the words "champion by choice," it really resonates with me. Like, hey, I'm a champion because I choose to be a champion. I'm dedicated. I'm
Yes.
driven. I am going to do it. I can rely on myself. I will execute on the
Yes.
promises that I make.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds so simple, yet so hard to do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. I think everybody struggles with actually following through to some degree on something, and
Yeah.
being a champion by choice is actually a good motto to kind of live life by. And that's
Yeah.
an excellent title. I really love that. So I guess the main closing question that we can wrap up with, we're in a global pandemic. We're
Uh-huh.
locked down, no lockdown. Where you're out there in California, they're starting to tighten things back up again. Here in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, now we have to wear masks outside, not even just in stores, outside all the time.
Yep.
What's your advice for people in business that are possibly just struggling with this to help them keep dreaming and not just get down and depressed?
Okay, so I'm come from a place of not being cliche. I come from a place of being there, done it myself the last 3 to 4
Authenticity.
months. All right, and so the first thing is get your basic life necessities together.
Right.
Right. If you are financially struggling just to keep the lights on, then deal with that first.
Right.
The good news is that there's help available. I'm very fortunate to have some friends that help me out in the process. For example, they told me that I can get a break on my health insurance. I can apply for like $10,000 from Small Business Administration for free, right?
That's
No
awesome.
no chargeback for it, right? So
Yeah.
there's help out there if you look for it. So do
Right.
that first. Yeah. And then once you financially stable, you can handle your living, your daily necessities. Then we can chase our dreams, right? So whatever it is, now we can talk about chasing dreams. So
Yeah.
once you have that, then you can decide, okay, well, what do I really want to commit to? And then there's no magic answer.
Right.
Everybody's journey is going to be different.
Mhm.
And for me, I'm very grateful. I have something that I've been doing that I don't mind revealing.
Right.
Is that I'm getting a lot of requests from the app called Cameo, and
Cameo. Oh
Cameo
yeah.
is yeah. So Cameo is like an app where people can request me to do like short inspirational messages, sing she bangs or happy birthday, and then I get like anywhere between $20 to $50, right? And then
That's fun.
I get. It doesn't sound like
Can
much,
I
but
ask
I'm
you a question? Sorry,
yeah.
I don't mean to jump in, but with Cameo, a lot of people doing it. I think most celebrities, all the way down the list, a lot of them are on there. Do you like doing those videos? Do you enjoy it? Is it fun to get those requests?
Well, I could tell you that even though it might not be my how do I say it? It might not be like directly aligned with the mission or the direction I want to go. I still feel good about it because I'm making that positive impact. Right? When people are willing to pay for something, that means that it means a lot to them.
Yeah, it
Right?
means you have value, and that's gotta boost your morale, your ego, and let you know, like, hey, people love you, William Hung.
Yeah. So that overall, it feels very good doing it.
Yep.
So that's that and I'm sharing that is not to brag. I'm sharing that because everybody's life situation is different, right? Because so now I have that. Even though it might not be stable income, it's not something that I want to rely on the long term.
Right.
I'm in a position of strength, right?
Yeah.
I can also like save and invest the money I have. I just got someone to help me take care of that part of it. Now I can figure out, okay, what do I want to build? What do I want to create in my life? And what I want to create is not just for business. It's also the lifestyle that I want to create for myself. So that's something for you to explore as well as you're listening. Like, okay, what do you want to create for yourself? And so that's the process I go through, and hopefully that will help your listeners.
Oh, I hope so. That was some really good advice, and how you just ended that right there. Champion by choice was rigged through my head. I mean, that really summed it up right there. This has been such a great, informative, and fun interview today, but I'm sure people out there listening are going to want to get a hold of you. How can they reach you? How can they contact you? For the people listening on audio, for people on YouTube, they'll have a link in the description. But for the audio listeners, what do you suggest?
The best way is go to my website, willhung.com, WILLHUNG.com. You can also find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram.
Oh, that's great. And Cameo. You've got to start listing Cameo
Cameo.
there, too.
Yeah.
Have you ever got any weird requests on Cameo?
Yeah. Most of them are pretty straightforward. Like sometimes the only weird ones where they ask me to say something inappropriate or say something bad about other people or do songs that I have no idea how to sing, like some random artist I never heard of. So those are the cases where I just decline politely, let them know that's not something I want to be doing. But other than that, it's not a big deal. It's just and that's another point I want to bring up, because I feel like the reason I want to approach it that way is because integrity. Right. Another thing, right? It's
your
not
brand,
just about
your image.
Right. It's not just about the money. It's about integrity.
Right. That's awesome. So, William, it's been a long time coming, getting you here on the podcast for Shark Bite Biz. I am so grateful. This has been a very informative, very fun, lighthearted, and we went down many different avenues. Do you have anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
I just started streaming on Twitch, and I have a free Ask Me Anything session on Monday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
On Twitch?
So on Twitch, yes. It's intentional because they have a new category called Just Chatting. Yep. So Twitch is not just used for gaming anymore. No. They are using it to teach dance lessons. They are using it to talk about anything from life to politics to whatever else you want to talk about. So that's a category I'm interested in because I enjoy speaking. So if you want to come on in, come ask me more questions. I'll be there.
The AMA Ask Me Anything on twitch.tv. You can search for William Hung, and it's on Mondays at what time?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time?
Yeah.
7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. William, thank you again, buddy, and I'm sure we'll be in contact shortly.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wow. It's always a fun discussion with William, right? from instant American Idol fame to public speaker, poker player, and now developing a video gaming platform. William is a perfect example of reinventing your brand to stay relevant. Like I said earlier, I don't know a business person who has gotten it right the first time. It not only takes a good idea, maybe even a great idea, but some would argue it takes a good amount of luck. Not only that, but it takes a lot of dedication to your project. For a business owner, at least to be successful, you have to be fully dedicated, oftentimes working 7 days a week, even 12, 14, 16-hour days to get it ramped up. But once you get it ramped up, you're not done. You're still putting all your blood, sweat, and tears to ensure that it's still going to maintain the success that you've had. You're constantly hustling in order to grow the business more. That's why with what I do for my day job, I help businesses and owners achieve growth via the promise of technology. More specifically, I use SAP Business One with Vision 33. Using those tech tools like an ERP like Business One will help your business automate tasks so that you can have your employees working on more productive things. Not only that, but it will help you capture and decipher all the data you have, allowing you to make correct business decisions. None of that, though, would be possible without being a champion by choice in your own business. You have to choose to win. Yes, things can go against you, not always going to be easy, but if you don't choose to win and put in the time and energy, you will never succeed. So this was a pretty fun video, wasn't it? What did you think? How can dreaming help you grow your business? Leave a comment down below. Let us know what your dreams are. Tell us about what you envision for the future and tell us how you plan on getting there. We'd love to have those conversations going on. Last thing here, if you want to be a guest in the show, as you've seen, we have a huge array of different types of people and personalities that are coming onto the show. If you want to be a guest, please shoot me an email to david@sharkbitebiz.com and please tell me so that way we can tell the story about how your business pivoted during quarantine. Very last thing here, please, if you're watching on YouTube, give this a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. People subscribing lets me know that you all like these videos and you want more of it. If we get enough subscribers, there's a good chance that we may move this up to a 5-day-a-week release instead of just 2 days like now. If you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you are, make sure that you subscribe to it. That way you always get the newest episode once they come out every Monday and every Thursday. So thank you all again for tuning in to this episode of Shark Bite Biz, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Thank you for listening to Shark Bite Biz. We hope you got some insightful info from this podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us through your favorite podcast app and visit us on the web at www.sharkbitebiz.com. How has business changed for you in the 20s? Email us at podcast@sharkbitebiz.com so you can join us and share your story.